So this was the introduction, like the field visit to the farms of Sylvia, Frank, and Untum. And I welcome now the three of you, which are in several places in the world. And maybe I would like to start with Sylvia. She is from Kenya, as you have seen, but now I think she's sitting in Uganda. And please, Sylvia, I think we are very interested. Before I ask you that question, please, participants online and also here in the hall, put your question into the Slido. It is easier for us to follow up. And if you think this question is really important, and then you can also, other people can like it. And please also mention always when you have a question to these, because it's now your chance to ask more questions to Sylvia, Frank, and Untung. Then just post it into Slido, like it, and we will ask them. But the first question, because until this is starting, will be raised by me. And this will be targeted to Sylvia. Sylvia, you are having said you have an online shop. I know you have a shop, but I was wondering if you're also marketing online, and how does this shop work, and how does your marketing strategy works? Maybe since many years you do it. Who are your customers? They are young or old, or, you know, I'm urban or rural. Maybe you could explain a little bit more about that.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Silke. I hope you can hear me well. I think for me, when we started off, oh, good. If you can hear me well, that's good. Yes, yes. From Kenya, greetings from Uganda. We are here working on markets and seeing how we can be able to increase regional markets. And for me, what has worked well for me over the years is being very active on the social media. And what happened was, what makes it easier for me to market the work that I'm doing is because I share a story. So I started by sharing my story because I actually started farming because I was farming for my young children. So I started with a kitchen garden and I started growing food for my own children. So most of the people who actually buy from me are like young mothers, just like me, because I shared my story of how I wanted to give the best food to my children. And because of that, then many mothers were able to resonate and actually understand what I wanted to do. And that way, then they really support the work that we're doing. And then, when I started my basket scheme, so the name of our company is Sylvia's Basket. So basket meaning that we normally deliver vegetable and fruit baskets to our customers every single week. And when we started off, I only had very few clients and I used to do the baskets from my farm. But then what happened over time is that we decided to get a shop. And the thing about having a physical shop, it really does help because it helps to give credibility. And also when you have a shop, then people know that that you're actually genuine and you know what you're doing. And that has really helped. But then what has happened is since COVID, not many people were able to, we had a lot of restricted movements. And because of that, then we're told then, we decided then to move our business into an online home delivery. And that worked out very well. So what we do, we use our online platforms. We have a website, but then we mainly get our orders because we find that many people are on their mobile phones every day. So what we normally use is WhatsApp, and that works very well. So people make their orders. So we normally just put, the produce that's available every day on WhatsApp in a group, and people make their order, and then we make home delivery. And then finally, we normally use social media platforms for marketing. So we use Instagram, we use Facebook. I also post a bit on LinkedIn to share what the work that I do, and we also use WhatsApp. And now we have very good tools. Social media can be used as a wonderful tool. And how we market the most again is by sharing our story. So we share the story all the way from the farm to the shop, and people now have built trust in the brand and the work that we're doing.
Thank you, Sylvia. Very interesting. And thank you for the introduction. So maybe we come first, before we talk again with you, to Frank. Frank, you are in a totally different situation because you're in Europe and you are surrounded. I think you are living, we have visited you in the Westlands, Netherlands, which is greenhouse area. Basically, not really farm, but greenhouse land of Holland. I heard 150 kilometers square. You mostly, I think greenhouse we hear it's mostly conventional, but can you please tell us again why you have, when did you decide and why did you decide to switch to become an organic greenhouse yeah, farmer? Oh, yeah, thank you.
Um, I started 33 years ago with growing vegetables. First, it was traditional, and traditional in Holland means we grow on slabs, on rock wool. That's the main thing how it is done here. But many weeks a year, there is overproduction, that we have too much tomatoes, too much cucumbers, etc. And that was feeling not well for me. So I was searching for a way to make a difference in the market, and that I found in organic growing. It's also I also wanted to make the customers happy with our products, with healthy and good tasting products. So that was the reason that I converted to organic, and I was it was for me a challenge to grow organic, because it was many years ago that people grow in the soil here. So it was also a personal challenge to do it that way.
Yes, thank you for this intro questions. Maybe first we go now back to Indonesia and look for Tom, not Tom, sorry, Mr. Untung from Tom. And as you are having an interesting system, you are also purchasing, I mean, it is, you have a small farm, but you're purchasing farm products from other farmers in the region, and then you're selling it to supermarkets, we hear in the video. And I was wondering, how does price setting is done in Indonesia, in your farm? Do you dictate the price to the farmer, or do you negotiate it? And do you get dictated the price from the supermarket when we look at what Nick explains with the big agribusiness player, or do you have the option also to negotiate with them? Who sets the price in your system? Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Now we have
Okay,
to look with the translation. They have to go now, the English participants, to the English channel, because he will
okay,
speak Bahasa.
Pak Untung,
okay.
bisa dimengerti
Okay.
pertanyaannya?
Yeah, tahu ya. Okay, thank you very much for Miss Dr. Silke that about your questions. And this is the first time for me that is my chance to share about agribusiness of Tani Organic Merapi in this international seminar. I would like to say thank you, and I would like to answer about Dr. Silke's question in Indonesian, and would you please the inspirator assist me? Oke, jadi untuk Tom sendiri dalam menentukan harga dengan petani itu dengan sistem fair trade, ya. Karena selama ini Tom adalah sebagai anggota Aliansi Organik Merapi, Aliansi Organik AOI, Aliansi Organik Indonesia. Jadi harga dari produk. Jadi Tom ini kan kita kemitraan dengan petani sekitar.
Excuse me, there's no English translation, so sorry, we can't follow.
Pak Untung, can you hear me through Zoom, Dr. Silke?
Oke, maybe saya minta untuk host biar saya nge-share untuk apa? Untuk untuk file saya bisa saya share.
Bapak,
kalian
saya bisa bantu translate untuk Bapak.
Oke, ya.
Okay. So,
sama bisa
Dr.
minta
Silke,
sekalian saya share untuk
boleh.
apa? Untuk saya minta untuk saya share. Bisa share.
So his answer was they determine the price through fair trade. So because they belong to the Indonesian Organic Alliance, so in order to determine the price, it have to be through fair trade pricing. Fair trade pricing. Ada lagi,
Yeah.
Pak?
Ya, mungkin ini yang di file saya dari the price in contract is determined by conducting farming analysis in each product. One product differ from the others. The price is based on the mutual agreement. Tom implements an open or fair trade. Jadi selama ini memang untuk Tom sendiri kita penentuannya harga kita berdasarkan agreement, kesepakatan. Yeah.
So up until now in Tom, they determine the price based on an agreement from farmer to the market agreement.
Ya, jadi untuk Tom sendiri kita tidak merugikan petani karena bagaimana tujuan Tom adalah meningkatkan kesejahteraan petani dengan bermitra dengan petani.
Tom's main goal is to increase farmers' economical condition. So therefore, they cooperate with the farmer in order for the farmer to be more financially stable. Yeah. Itu nggak, Pak?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
So I think we have already some questions from the audience. Maybe we go for the question that is not most recent, but just most liked by two people. And I think it is very interesting a question to even ask all of them. It was, I think, to Sylvia, so maybe she can start with that, but also Frank can think about already. Did it take long time to become profitable, to meet the break even, taking into account all investments costs, the transportation costs, etc., PP, shop, the outlet? Yeah. Thank you, Sylvia.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Yes, it takes time to be profitable. Basically, I started my business of the basket scheme in 2016, and then I was delivering vegetables myself to people's homes. But then when I started the shop in 2019, then I thought it would be easier, but it was harder, because you just have more overheads. You have the rent, you have salaries, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for electricity. But then what worked out for us is that we were very lucky. To be honest, I was very lucky, actually, after opening the shop, to break even after 1 year. And what we did was that, we really worked on the pricing. So we made our food very affordable. I know globally and different parts of the world, you find that organic produce is a niche product. But for us, what we did, we worked with farmers and we asked them, please don't sell to us the produce very expensive. And then we got a logistics partner who was able to give us a good rate to be able to deliver the vegetables from the villages to the town. And then when when the produce comes to our shop, we sell it affordable. But then for us to make a profit or break even is we have to sell volumes. So we don't sell in small quantities, we sell volumes. And now we are selling to more than 100 homes a week. And because of that, then we're able to actually break even and make profit. So I think two things for me: talk to the farmers to give you affordable pricing, get a logistics partner, and then make it affordable, and as much as possible, sell large volumes. But then making it affordable is what works the most. Then you have more people buying organic and making sure that you have to spread that safe organic produce is for everyone. It's not a niche product, and that will work well.
Thank you very much. So Frank, what about you? About the break even or the business? I mean, you mentioned you took in the video, it took a long time to build up the soil, but yeah.
Yeah, we have to deal with a converting period. I converted in the year of 2000, and normally it takes 2 years. And in special conditions, it takes a half a year. Then you can grow your products, but you have to sell it traditional for the common market. And after the conversion period, you can sell it organic. So that means a better price. Yeah, that's for the start then. But with the higher prices of organic in 1 or 2 years, that the investment is you get back. Then the other point is you have a higher risk profile in growing organic. It can happen that part of your nursery or part of your crop didn't get the end, and yeah, you get some. There is a risk of getting some losses. But overall, it's going well, yeah, because of the higher prices.
Yeah, but Sylvia just in relation said it's not necessarily. She was just targeting without giving higher prices, right? What we know in Europe is 2 or 3 times the price, and maybe what you mean, Sylvia? It is the same price you give it out in the beginning, or a little bit higher?
It's just very, it's like 20 to 30% higher. So you see, that's not too high. Then it's more affordable. Then people will consider it. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe another, because it's just here under this, Sylvia, your local market away from the farm, how do you organize the transport? How far is it, or people pick it up, or?
Okay, thanks for that question. So what I did before we started the shop, we got a logistics partner. And what we did, we got a partner who's able to have trucks, a transporter. So this transporter normally has trucks that go all over the country. But what happened with the transporter is that, trucks go full from the capital city to the villages, but then the trucks were coming empty. So I was able to negotiate a very good price. And to be honest, I was very lucky. So because of that, I'm able to get produce from all over the country. So some produce I get, especially the green leafy vegetables, the food that is, going to, that is very highly perishable. That one, we normally get it from near Nairobi, which is maybe about 50, 60 kilometers away. But then the other stuff that is not very perishable, like cereals and fruits, we get it from as far as 400 kilometers away. But the only reason I've been able to make it work is because before I started the shop, I engaged a logistics partner. So that's very important for you to know, how will I get the produce to the shop? And you have to get someone who is good with logistics and has a vehicle to bring it to your shop.
Thank you, yeah. Now I think it is more the questions again to Mr. Untung and Frank. How do you manage to connect the actors of the value chain from the farm to supermarkets and consumers? This I got actually by Zoom chat, how the producers processed, or how they, I think how they proceed to connect. How did you proceed to connect the actors from the farm to supermarket? Also, how do you develop your market channels, I think, to supermarkets, right? And maybe Untung, you can answer first, and then Frank can think about yet, because he's even to supermarkets abroad. No? It's a little bit different scale. Yeah. Okay, Untung, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Silker. That Tom, now that we link to supermarket, that we on the national supermarket, modern market, and we used to online market too. That daily we supply to supermarket, and then about the supermarket, we have a contract how to increase and how to develop and how about the quality of our product, organic product, and we improving about our quality. Okay,
Frank, yes, it's answered. Frank, please. How do you connect to the, or is it only supermarkets or others? Is it also bio markets or?
Yes, we buy our products for about 60-70% to supermarkets, mostly in the Dutch and for a part in Germany and Scandinavia. And for about 30%, it's going to specialized organic shops or specialized organic supermarkets, and also in the region for small shops in the region, or for people who make boxes, wheat boxes, who the consumers can order those boxes and they will bring at home by them.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, and maybe here's a question of what kind of certificates do you use, Frank? Maybe you can just add, and then we go back to Sylvia.
Yeah. Yes, we need the skull certificate. That's the certificate that means that we are organic, and also we have then the meter certificate that we are biological organic. Yeah. And we need certificates for the supermarkets, so as a global gap and the grasp additional, but also some certificates who have the supermarkets for their own. And for Scandinavia, we have another certificate, and for Germany another, and a lot of certificates.
A lot of certificates.
Yeah.
And what about Sylvia?
Yes, for us, it's much easier. And, as we're just sharing, with my sister Rowena, we're very lucky that in Kenya, we have PGS. So many of my farmers have gone through PGS certification. So that makes it easier. Then we're able to bulk up the produce using the different PGS groups all over Kenya. So for us, mainly it's PGS, but a few farmers have got third-party certification, like like I did, but it's too expensive. So what is more sustainable for us is PGS certification.
Yeah, and Sylvia, were you jealous when you saw the pepper packed in plastic? The consumer package, because we know in Kenya the plastic is not really a banned, right? I don't even know if you are able to pack your fresh product in plastic or not.
Yeah, fortunately, I'd like to encourage, the rest of the world to join Kenya, because now plastic bags have all been banned. So, and at first we really panicked and we wondered how we're going to package, but now it's easy. We just put everything in the basket and then we recycle the basket. So we put everything in the basket. When it gets to your house, you empty the basket and give us back the basket. So it works very well. So packaging is now easier, actually.
What about salad? I mean, we just heard in Indonesia, we went to the farm and they had to pack the salad into plastic because they said if they don't do it, it will be over after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
in
also
Indonesia
can add to
untuk
that,
Tom, we use packaging with bamboo packaging, not plastic. And we use to local certificates organic, and we use to PGS to pamor, and then because we want to back to nature. Okay.
Yeah, in Europe we are not that far, so we are more a development country, right, Frank? In this regard, we don't have any, or is there something in the future where you already want to change that?
The plastic issue, you mean?
Yes, packing.
Yeah. Yeah, we pack it how our clients wants us to pack it, and yeah, for the moment that is for a part plastic, but it is already changing very quickly to carton. Yeah, most of the products now we pack in carton. And also some loose, but especially in the supermarket, the supermarkets want to make a difference between organic and conventional, and then they choose most of the time the conventional to have it lay loose and the organic in the plastic. That sounds a little weird, but organic is the smallest part, and then they have chosen to pack that in plastic or in carton.
Yeah. There's another question that, thank you, Frank. There's just another question that just came in. And first a remark that also PGS in Indonesia, we have now 13 units. And so Rowena, she did not consider yet the number 13. She mentioned 12 units, so it's also growing. And I think also Pak Untung is also PGS, no? Certified.
Yes. Maybe first answer about packaging, that Tom make packaging innovation. The previous packaging used styrofoam, now has been replaced into woven bamboo basket, an eco-friendlier packaging. I mean that. So and then Tom have empower the local bamboo craftsman community in Yogyakarta. Yes, like this.
There's another, thank you. There's another very general question, but I was wondering if you can answer it, but maybe I think we can also, because you said there's a question as farmers, what challenges you have encountered and how you were able to cope. And if there will be good advice, what is it? Thank you. But I was wondering, challenges, yeah, we face always, but maybe what we are interested in this seminar is about talking also about this agroecopreneurship. And maybe the three of you can answer me this question. If you are with one leg in your production and with the other leg in your marketing, where do you see more challenges, or in both legs you are in, you know, production and marketing? Where do you see the biggest challenges? Production, whatever, what it could be, marketing, it could be like building consumer trust or whatever, or big players, logistics, packaging, or whatever. Maybe that would be nice also to hear from you in the row. We're starting with Sylvia again, and then Frank and Unto.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. I think for me, what, of course, we have different, challenges because we're from different continents, but for us on the African continent, what I can say is what has happened over time is that we have a lot of NGOs, CBOs who have done wonderful work in the organic value chain. And what they have done is they have trained a lot of farmers on how to grow food organically. But then we still have a huge gap when it comes to markets. So you find we have so many farmers, they know how to grow the right food, but there are no markets. So I think the biggest challenge for us is how to set up retail for organic and food that has been grown using agroecological practices. So that's where we are really struggling, whereby we are very few retailers. There's no much support with retail. So what's happening is farmers are getting discouraged. They have been trained, they know how to grow their food very well, but they have nowhere to take their produce. So we need to be able to get to a point whereby when you think about the full value chain, all the way from production to logistics and to packaging and everything, but we also need to see how can we then make sure that we put money in the farmers' pockets. So we have to really put in more investment and more support in the retail and being able to sell the good produce that the farmers are producing.
Thanks, Sylvia, for the perspective from East Africa. Frank, what about you? What your perspective? I mean, as also doing both produce and marketing.
For the last few years, the challenge for the market were not so very big because there was the most of the time there was more demand than we had production often, so the selling was going pretty well. But now we see the last 1-2 years, and also for the nearby future, we see more pressure on the prices, more competition from other countries, especially Southern Europe. So there will be more challenge in the market, but challenge in the how to grow the crops. There we have always always surprises, and that makes it interesting. But yeah, and we all still learning how to deal with the challenges in growing the crops.
Thank you. Untung, what about you?
Okay. Yes, thank you. That we know in this time, people realize or is aware about the health, so they know that to consume an organic product about their health. So Tom's is still cover 70% from order. So yes, it's like that is so it's still minimum of production. So about the market is uh, more better as know that some have to fulfill about the order about the demand. So that marketing some inside the product we still to give education about the consumer, how to know how about the product knowledge, how about the knowledge of organic products. So they know that they consume organic and know about the benefit or the function of the organics. And importantly, that the marketing is very prospecting. Thank you.
So in general, it seems, thank you so much for the insights into your businesses, yeah, in different scales. But I think also I got the impression that the challenges are very, very different. There may be one overarching challenge, which is the climate change, even if this is regionally also very different. There are ways how to, what we've seen from the video, we didn't discuss it now, but from where it's possibly how to adapt or to mitigate climate change, all of you do it because all of you are more in the sustainable food production. In this, what we called, what we learned from Nick, it is more this alternative or different pathway of food production. And that's why I think all of us are very grateful that you were here, that you shared your, give us your insights and your experiences. And from the hall, we would like to give you a big clap, and maybe you do this now.